I wanted to discuss hair loss and the Sisterlocks practice. My information that I'm going to share with you in this audible share post is to enlighten you and to help you make the right decision for your hair. Please understand that my shares are for people looking for the alternative to interlocking. Micro locks, braid locks, sister locks, but this really, I'm trying to help support Sisterlocks people into understanding signs and symptoms of hair loss. Bear with me, this information is based on my 13 years knowledge of Sisterlocks, working with small size locks and Sisterlocks. You know, I work with Sisterlocks people, so I convert Sisterlocks to Knotted Locs, and I also teach Sisterlocks wearers how to knot their hair, and I consult with them as well. And 18 years ago, I was a client of Sisterlocks, and so I wore Sisterlocks like since then, and then I moved to become a consultant, and as a result of being a consultant, I started seeing the trauma over 10 years ago, 12 even years ago, where people were going bald as a direct result of the Sisterlocks practice. As a direct result of the Sisterlocks practice, people were going bald over 12 years ago, and that's why I decided I need to remove myself from Sisterlocks and not recertify, and try to look for an alternative to save my hair and to save my client's head. And just because that has been my foundation, we have now got to a point where now I have created the solution to wearing your small size locks in the healthiest, smartest way ever, and that is Knotted Locs. I wanted to talk to you about signs of hair loss, how it starts. This information is based on me speaking internationally to women who wear Sisterlocks. Yeah, mostly. I think that's what it's based on, because I mean, I'm going to tell you a bit about my Sisterlocks experience, so that will help you. But I didn't know that there was an issue, so I was in isolation and I didn't know. Maybe I thought I was going mad, but now collectively, speaking to women back to back to back, teaching people back to back to back, I'm able to share with you information that is non-biased and not as a direct result of Melissa's experience, but about worldwide Sisterlocks wearers' experience. I provide a one-to-one DIY teaching service. This means amazing women speak to me privately about their Sisterlocks stories, and I am now using their stories to warn you about the dangers of Sisterlocks, and it's really bad. Now, what is Sisterlocks? Sisterlocks is small size locks or micro locks placed in a grid formation, and retightened. Some people are being retightened every 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. The longest I've heard is 8 weeks. And it's done through interlocking. And what interlocking is, you split the base of the hair, the growth, and they pull through the lock and push it up to retighten it. Listen to the operative word, tightening your locks, retightening. It's pulled tight. I was taught a 4-point rotation, and so a 4-point rotation was done in my hair, and the result of that was my edges were thin and my temple area was receding back. And then what I didn't realize is my crown area was thinning. Also, there was a lot of pain, and the pain slowly increased and I just told myself it's part of the Sisterlocks experience. And because I had Sisterlocks installed about 18 years ago, I didn't know about grid. So back in the day, we didn't know the word interlocking, and neither did I know that there was a grid on my hair. I used to just sit down, put a film on, and then she did my hair, and she hardly sprayed my hair or sprayed my hair once. So I stole the spray and sprayed my hair lightly. The lack of water is a problem, and it contributes to the hair loss. So the fact that your consultant is saying avoid washing your hair, avoid wetting your hair, because it's going to lead to your hair unraveling, is the reason why hair loss just becomes a lot more acute, simply because your strands, your African texture hair is dry, and African texture hair needs hydration, and a lot of hydration, and African hair teaches you that when it moves. It's showing you, it's signaling when it moves, when water hits it, that hydration is its best friend. Water is its best friend. So the fact that you are saying, I'm going to stop wetting my hair because my consultant has said, don't wet my hair, don't oil my hair, that is to the detriment of your strands. You have made a decision that instead of celebrating your African texture hair, you are celebrating a grid, a Sisterlocks concept idea hairstyle. But the problem is your head is allergic to Sisterlocks. And that's why you're listening to this video. If you're listening to this post, this audible, is because something is wrong. Because if something is right, you should not be, this is too long a video for you to be listening to it if you're joyous and happy and your hair is thriving in Sisterlocks. So this is for people who are thinking, oh my God, I'm getting older and I'm going bald. What is going on? Lack of hydration. Right. When you don't put water and oil in your hair, you're weakening your strands. You're also saying, Headlice, come and visit my head. Headlice, come and visit my head. Let me tell you, I don't know whether Sisterlocks people are talking about this, but I've experienced headlice on clients' head as a direct result of no oil and no water. If you think of African hair is curly. So you go and do thin locks, and you say, don't oil it, don't wet it, and then Headlice goes into your locks. My God, what a party the Headlice is having. Think about the party. Your hair is dry, there's no oil to help slip it away, so it can just grab onto your scalp, grab onto your strands, and then it can just tuck itself into your curl, because your curls are not even moving, because you're not even wetting it. You're not even wetting it or oiling it. So it's just there cuddling the Headlice. The Headlice is happy. Your blood is gorgeous. So now it's feeding off your blood, right? And now it's generation multiplying on your Sisterlocks dry, no oil hair. Party. So basically that's what you're doing. Firstly, and this is not, you're introducing Headlice, you are saying, calling Headlice to your head when you don't oil and wet your hair. But this cannot be only my experience in isolation, because I've experienced it a number of times. And because Sisterlocks they never talk to me, because when I did the course, I never had a relationship with them. Like, this is not spoken about, but you're literally inviting Headlice because your hair is dry. You're introducing dry scalp, flaking, you're introducing bad hygiene, so the Headlice is partying, right? So this contributes, apart from Headlice, this contributes to your strands staying static and dry and stagnant, and then eventually weak, and then it breaks off. So signs of hair loss is the pain. So your hair is being pulled through a number of times, frequently, very tight, in a four cycle rotation, quarter past, half past, o'clock. And then even when you learn to DIY your hair, you're taught the bad habits. So then you are actually actively thinning out your hair, trying to avoid water and oil, and trying to maintain a Sisterlocks hairstyle. You need to pay attention to how your hair is reacting to the bad habits you're creating to actually keep your Sisterlocks on your head. And long term, this is not sustainable, and this is not a joyous experience. I want you to understand that the pain in the first 2 years, 18 months, 2 years, is a sign of trauma. And then you get this experience of, wait, is my hair, am I seeing more scalp? and then you get your loved one to check and they're like, I think, yeah. You know, so at first you think, maybe not, maybe I am. That's a sign. And then when your loved one tells you, I think, yeah. And then your consultant might not tell you, but the first thing they might start doing is changing how they, because Sisterlocks people don't like much change. So they normally style you in the same way. Like it just goes on one side. The moment they move it to the other side, it says they're hiding the hair loss on the one side they've always exposed. Does this make sense to you? If this makes sense to you, you need to stop. As gorgeous and as wonderful as your consultant is, you need to stop. Because what you're going to end up with a great friendship, a Sisterlocks consultant, a great friendship with and you with your bald head. That's what you're going to end up, that's what's going to end up happening to you, right? Now, if your Sisterlocks consultant has the habit of parting your hair in the same direction, it means they don't know what they're doing. It's a lack of understanding of how your hair works, because that's the wrong thing to do, right? Now, that's the sign. The fact that it's thinning then shows up 3 years onwards. You start seeing a lot more of your scalp. You start noticing your temple is moving closer and closer, trying to join. And some people have suffered the breakage at the back, and some people have suffered the broken locks. There is other additional signs of hair loss, but I feel like that's the most important one I need to tell you about, so that you begin to be aware that that pain you're feeling, that tightness, that burning sensation is the beginning of the trauma, and the fact that you're thinking, can I see my scalp a bit more? Is this front edge looking a bit, is my back feeling a bit more broken? And then that stretchy feel. You know, when your locks start feeling like it's stretching off, it's stretching just in the middle of it random. It's all of that is showing you that the strands are so weak, they can't bind together and carry on that continuity of attachment to them, that interweaving traumatic practice that consultant introduced to your head, right? It can't keep binding and holding on to the strands, and so therefore it starts separating. Now, I hope this is not confusing to you, but if it is, I provide a consultation service. And when I consult with you, it means that I'm speaking to you about your individual experience, and I can start giving you tips and advice to start helping you move into a much more sensible, smarter way of looking after your African texture hair in small size locks rather than in Sisterlocks. So I want to move you from Sisterlocks, which is a hairstyle, to you just having a natural hairstyle in small size locks, looked after in the smartest, most healthiest way, that it gives you your strands that ability to thrive again. Hopefully it's not too late, but I want your hair to thrive again, and I want that feel good factor of, I love my African texture hair in small size locks. Thank you for listening to this post. I hope it's helped you. I'm going to come back and speak again about hair loss in a lot more detail. But with this, it's the start of me introducing you to the idea of, if you listen to my messages, you will slowly begin to awaken and understand this. There is a healthier, smarter, better option to wearing your small size locks. Have the best day ever and look after yourselves. Thank you again for listening to this post or this recording or this audible. Take care of yourself. Bye.